Mic check. Thank you guys for tuning in to West Wednesday. This is week 563. Sorry we were late. Give us a few seconds to turn this thing down because it's kind of echoing. So just give us a few seconds.
Check it again.
Mic check. Yeah, much better. Yes, mic check. Can I slide back so my heat like the cameras are up in my feet?
You good?
All right, cool.
Don't be shy of the camera.
I am. But first of all, I want to give our brother Ben a big birthday shout out. Thank you, Ben, because he could have been somewhere turned up for his birthday, but again, he's out here.
I'm turned up here.
Turned up right here in West Wednesday, and we in front of what I call the home of the killers. You know, we haven't been back here in a while. Just had to pop up and let them know that they're still on the radar. They're definitely still on the radar. And it's sad. And just real quick, if anybody don't know who my brother Tyrone West was, he was an unarmed man brutally executed on July the 18th, 2013, for no reason. Just driving while black in America. Wasn't doing anything wrong. They say he was driving too slow towards a stop sign, literally. And we had 17 killer cops come out and beat him to death. And if that wasn't enough, we had one cop from Morgan State, well, two cops from Morgan State University, but the major one that played the major role was David Killer Lewis, who actually sat on my brother's neck and beat down, kneeled on my brother's neck until my brother was dead, pushing all 340 pounds of his body weight onto one unarmed man that was already beat for over 18 minutes, gasping for air. He decided that he was going to play God and finish my brother off. And this is the reason why we're still out here. And the saddest part, it did not stop or start with my brother Tyrone West. Because I remember a year before my brother Tyrone West, one of the cases that hit me was when I heard about Anthony Anderson, didn't know who the family was, but just felt sorry for them. And the reason why Anthony Anderson case stuck out because one of my uncle's name is Anthony Anderson. So immediately when I heard Anthony Anderson's name on the news, I'm just thinking like, oh my goodness, they got the same name as my uncle. And when they went into what happened, I just really like felt sorry for Anthony Anderson and his family, things of that nature. And to come to find out that they were lying. Everything that they said about his murder was a lie, and we literally had to feel the horrible pain that Anthony Anderson's family endured. We had to feel that same exact pain a whole year later. And it's disturbing because, unfortunately, we're not the only ones feeling pain. Everybody that goes through this trauma, even the victims that survive, they have to feel this pain. And these are not isolated incidents. And we've been saying this forever. And to me, this district right here is the dirtiest in the world. This is the same district that's responsible for our beautiful, beautiful 18-year-old that was brutally murdered. And his mother still has to fight for counsel. Dante. Donnell, I'm sorry, Donnell Rochester. Too many names. Donnell Rochester. Yeah. Was executed by Northeast District. And the crazy part, they got a baby down for no reason. A baby that's still supposed to be here. That's right. A baby that's supposed to finish graduating from high school. Mom was excited, got him a car, and things like that. An 18-year-old. That is disgusting. And they said nobody was charged. So as I think about elections, election day, and it's right around the corner, the real trap one to me is like the Doug and Pony show. But the only reason why I vote is because though we were stripped away from those rights, as an African American woman who knew that some of my ancestors could not set up there and vote, and the things that we're voting for, we still don't have laws that protect us. We have these racist laws that are upholding racism, and nobody wants to talk about it. We're still bonded to racism, and it's disgusting. And then they want us to think that these men and women, if they put in office, can just save the day and change our lives. They ain't saving nobody. Like, all they doing is working for this capitalist system. There you go. That's all it's about. Unfortunately, it's about the dollars. But the fact that they're trying to that they are moving people that failed us back into a position of power is disgusting to me. If you failed us, I don't give a damn how low the failure was. The fact that you failed us, we are better than that as community. We don't deserve that. We don't deserve for somebody to be able to run again after they failed us. That's the same as the Trump foolishness. This idiot started a whole, oh my goodness, an insurrection. But they was trying to make it sound like he started a whole goddamn riot full of hatred. And they get to climb up the wall. They had people on the inside working with the police officers, all type of people working with them. And he's still able to run again. We are more than that. We're more than hatred. We're more than any of that. And Sheila Dixon, unfortunately, she failed us. I don't give a damn how minor y'all try to make it. She failed us. And I will never forget under her administration is where the zero tolerance foolishness started. They got my brother murdered. I will never forget that. I will never forget how she snatched rec centers away from our babies. Something that they need. And then to have our state's attorney, oh, I ain't backing her. You're backing a lot of foolishness, sir. You wouldn't even back a young man's mother who was murdered. You could have got them killer cops prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Day one. But then on one hand, oh, I'm going to work something out to free an innocent man, Keith Davis Jr. But then on the other side, I'm going to let y'all down. That's not good, sir. We need fairness all around. We don't need the scale to keep on tipping up and down because it's still not fair. It's still not right. And then I am grateful that, yeah, you did write a letter. And God knows I'm not trying to blow on any opportunities, but I still feel like you could have did more because you could have locked those damn killer cops up yourself. All the evidence that we gave you that Merlin Mosley felt us, you could have stepped up.
That's right.
Nobody wants to open up the Pandora box, but you could have opened it up. Now y'all kicking my brother Case down the damn road like a can. Kicking it, just rolling it. Meanwhile, people are dying, mothers are crying. And y'all get the paycheck. And then y'all want to support, y'all want to bring people that failed us before. Sheila failed us. I don't give a damn how small. And everybody's, oh, I went Sheila back. No! Because that's the same way if you would have failed us or anybody, you don't deserve to run again. You did your dirt, let it go. And then I want to talk about the dirtiest candidate ever. Let's talk about the word.
Yep, there you go.
Let's talk about this scandalous hypocrite. I wouldn't even call him a human, a trash. And he knew from day we did meet with him before he went. He knew I ain't like him.
You got to
Told
count
him
this.
to his
You got to
face.
count this.
I hope they're listening. And tell Worthless Worley that I said he's worthless too.
He just back in.
Good, I'm glad. Anyway, moving right on to third word. You sat up there, you piece of crap, and you tried to take out Kurt Mayor. You tried to, oh, as if you got so many followers behind you, so many people that's going to vote for you. There were 6 voters. Just like you trying to talk to us about, well, I don't need your vote. Oh, you did, sir. That's why you lost.
He jumped in the harbor.
Loser.
Didn't he jump in the harbor?
I'm sorry, what you said?
He jumped in the harbor, though.
Of course, of course. But anyway, the fact that you went and you always trying to do these dirty deals. First of all, let's go all the way back. Let's go back to Greenmount and 25th Street, where you were caught doing something strange with your change. That's your business. But you made it our business when you got caught. A, you didn't have no headlights on your car. Okay. B, when they pulled you over and you out there doing something strange with your change with an individual sex worker. Then you put the sex worker out your vehicle, didn't care about his or her life. You just let them go like a piece of trash, and then you try to persuade the officer to turn the cameras on. Oh, I'm a state prosecutor. I'm this, I'm that. You're a piece of crap. And I get that. Oh yeah. Let's not forget about this expired tags on top of no lights, expired tags, expired tags. That was the main reason why they pulled you over. They didn't tow your car or anything. And then they put you right up there on Fox 40 Live. Made you look like crap, but yet they keep bringing you back. They like you because you sell our people out. That's why they like you.
Treated him better this
That's why
time.
they like you. That's why they like you. And it's sad. And it's disgusting what you're doing to people and families that are in pain. You try to use your name and all this foolishness to use people's pain to uplift your name. Like you're the hero. You're no hero. You're a zero. But the dirty deal you try to do with Mayor Brandon Scott, you want to be our commissioner? Are you kidding? Worthless and Worley? Are you kidding me? So we already got worthless Worley. So if we would have let you become the commissioner, and who knows if you could slide Dirty Sheila in, you might get that commissioner job. So now I gotta think of a name for you. That's disgusting. And then you want to run our schools? Are you kidding me? Our schools with our babies? You are a worthless piece of crap. And the fact that you told my cousin, oh yeah, your cousin don't like me. Yeah, I don't. Now I can't stand you, sir. Add that on to I don't like you. It got worse. Every time you do your little dirt and crud, it gets worse. You are despicable. And that's what I just want to stop and start with or whatever. But that is disgusting. But we got to look at these politicians that they keep trying to push in and nobody's saving us. But I can say, and there's a lot of things that, yeah, Brandon could have did. But at the same time, he did do a lot that y'all want to sit up there and say that he didn't do. You know, he tried to make things work with the recreation centers, the Kirkleys. Can't nobody really save this city. We have to save ourselves. Nobody's going to save us. And I'm not only campaigning, but what I'm saying is, Sheila, you will never get my vote. Never, ever. Got that? And I don't care who backed me. And I was shocked at some people that stood up and said, ain't no way in the world. And there's a lot of people that I respect that are backing you. For what? To push their agendas. It makes me real scared because they're backing you so much. They have plans for our babies to wipe us out the same way that they put. And maybe I'm gonna warm up rubber case by saying this, but I don't work for a paycheck, and I'm not, and I don't have no filter. That's probably why they put Ivan Bates in the chair to push Greg Bernstein's plan. That's what they did. The same stuff Greg Bernstein was doing, you're doing now, sir. You're doing now. And the crazy part that really gets me down is the fact that you knew about the gun trace task force. You knew how corrupt they were. You knew the dirt that they did. And for you to stand up and be so firm in doing that and to turn around and know the dirt that they're still doing and you won't even prosecute my brother case, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's disgusting to me.
Yep.
Especially since Killer Ruiz was a part of the gun trace task force. And the fact that y'all use all this foolishness to say, oh, well, I sent people to West Ramsey, that's why I can't afford. No, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. I'm out here to tell the truth tonight and shame the goddamn devil. That's why I'm getting so many attacks. I can't even wake up to it if foolishness happens. But the joy is, no matter what happens, God always sees me through. And this ain't the West Coast, this is speaking, this is the Wanda Jones. I don't care what weapon may form, none of it will prosper. Because I'm going to always make it through. Because I'm going to always speak the truth. But the fact that you know Michelle Battle works in your office, that's the reason why you can't prosecute my brother's case. You should have told the public the truth. You should have fired her and did what you had to do. Call somebody else in that could do it. But right now, everybody that you're calling is kicking my brother can down the damn road. How many more Tyrones have to die? How many? We sit up there week after week and we read a horrible list, and this gets worse, guys. Every year it gets worse. Like it don't stop. Like last week we literally read off 42 names. The week before that another 42. Like how many? And these are not even all the names. These are not victims that were beat to death. These were victims that died from guns, that were shot.
Not tased.
executed.
And not tased.
And not tased, not beat, not hit with a baton, not with a 340-pound David Killer Lewis sitting on their neck. No. So what about them? It's disgusting. And I want everybody to think about, because we always just talk about the people that died, and we should. But what about the survivors? What about the people that wreak havoc they get havoc wreaked towards them every single day and are traumatized and got to live through that type of trauma and then feel guilty because, oh, my life was spared, my family life was spared. Louise, you did a lot of things. You hurt a lot of people. And not just you, your 16 maniac show friends. And this is why I'm on here week after week. I've never been anti-police. I've been anti-police brutality, and I'm going to keep saying it. But again, if any officer stands by and know any corruption and you don't say nothing, you are corrupted too. The apple don't fall from the tree. And like one of our friends said, if you see a snake come running down the street, we're not going to take the time to see which one poisons. We're going to haul ass. Period. And it's unfortunate. That's how I feel every time I'm stopped by law enforcement. Somebody's supposed to save us and protect us. I feel some type of way. It's disgusting. And I know that you guys are playing games. Right now, you can play all the damn games you want. Like, I know. It's just like, bro, that's why I feel like something big is going to happen in my brother's case because it follows me everywhere. I can't even take a simple trip to go to my baby's school because as soon as y'all sit up there and run the name to Wanda Jones, y'all like to play with me. I'm in the airport. I just get checked by a big dog. I'm scared of dogs. Get checked by a big dog. We get through, do the metal detector, all that, and you hold my book bag. You almost made me miss my goddamn plane. A book bag that had nothing in it. No smell of drugs, nothing in it. Nothing. No liquids, nothing. Literally a laptop type of situation, stuff that I can turn on, and you hold me up for an hour. Because I'd have had headphones and like some jewelry in a book bag for an hour. Every time I go on a trip, I don't even tell y'all this. Every time I lie to you now, it gets to the point, they be damn near strip searching me, patting me all the way down, violating me. I go in the courtroom one time, we went to go support Keith Davis Jr. Nobody got thoroughly searched like I did. I'm talking about like, what? So I know that when you pull up my name, the hate and rage come out because I'm doing the most American thing, and that's freedom of speech. And I'm going to continue on doing it. I don't care how much you harass me. And anybody knows that I'm not talking. I don't use drugs. I don't drink. I don't do anything. I go to work. I'm a mother. I'm a law-abiding citizen. This harassment needs to stop. Show up at my house a couple weeks ago on the West Wing for no reason. You keep cutting my tires every time we go to a town hall meeting, everything. Somebody drive my car, you pulling them over. I bet your face was tight when Brian pulled down, you see a white man face at the airport when you thought he was harassing me and my family. I bet you thought that was cute. Or when you saw a big booty bent over in my garden, it was my best friend. Yeah, I got people that love me and that's watching me because they know that it's real when you fight for accountability. And I never ever lied about anything that happened to me or my family. This stuff is real. I still don't even know who murdered my cousin Tavon Anderson. Going on 3 years later, because you got my family in a quiet position. And I'm only not talking now because I respect my family. But you got an innocent man gunned down on a West Wednesday at the same damn time the ACLU put out a hideous report about Killer Ruiz. I'm filled with so much joy, like, yes, the world is going to know what Killer Ruiz did. He got an additional 36 victims. Wow. And within a half an hour later, my cousin that was out here holding up these damn signs is murdered. And when I get to talk about it, all that dirt gonna come out to y'all. Like, we can't make this stuff up. It's sickening. But nobody's family should have to endure this. But I said all of this to say, again, it is election time, y'all. Please don't be fooled. If you're going to vote, Vote for people that's really going to have our back, that's really just trying. Because that's all a person can do is try. Ain't nobody going to come save us because nobody can save us but us. They not coming for us. I wish it was a man or a woman that could come down here and clean up this city and clean up everything. Oh, they would have my vote off the top. But I know that that's not true. We have to hold ourselves accountable on some level. But at the end of the day, to bring people that are corrupt in, that was already in, we might as well bring all the corruption back then. Like literally, we might as well just roll with it. I'm not. I'm not selling my soul. Think about your children when you go to that poll. Think about your children when you go to that poll and you so hard pressed because right now they have the city. They got all the teenagers demonized. Every teenager in the city is demonized.
College students.
College students, everybody. And then they got a nerve to be locking college students up because they're standing up for what's right. People getting killed, slain, babies getting killed, and they put their whole education on the line. And you want to come arrest them and threaten them? What about these goddamn killer cops? How about it? Go arrest yourself.
Yeah.
That's what y'all need to arrest.
Right.
Arrest yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm about to pass the mic, but remember, think about your babies. When election day is right around the corner, I'm going to make sure not only am I there, I'm taking my children with me to go and vote. And it won't be for no goddamn Sheila Dixon. You better believe me. And what's that lady name? Miss Arthur Brooks. And shame on her. Anytime you had Brandon Scott, he backed her. Everybody's backing her. But nobody's telling you all the foolishness she did. All the foolishness. You only hear the sweet stuff. She also did this. She also did that. She also talked bad about a victim of police brutality that was brutally executed.
Tell them.
Executed. My sister, brother was Shan. Leonard Shan, I almost said his name wrong. Leonard Shan was executed. It was a hit. Let me talk about that real quick. Leonard Shan, a year before was I want to say 2019 or 2018, he got murdered in 2019, but in 2018, he was at a Starbucks, buying his business. Him and an officer got into it. The officer, these officers have such ignorant ways with them. They want to talk to you like trash, but they demand you respect them, but they disrespect us. But long story short, he pretty much got stabbed by the officer. The officer lied and said that he had all these charges on him. Leonard Shan pretty much was found not guilty, was probably ready to get a lawsuit and everything. What happened? A year later, back at another Starbucks, and I'm telling you, this how corrupt the system is. If I'm lying, I'm flying. They do stuff strategically. They make their buck. They send their strong point. They are hitters. If you ever dealt with the mob, they are the mob. They're going to send you strong messages, all type of ways. You know it's them. You know it's them. He's at another Starbucks. And he is gunned down, executed for no reason. No weapon on him this time, just gunned down. And she also neglected Tracy Shan's family. Neglected them. Talked bad about them. We actually protested in front of her house. She wouldn't even come out and address us. Now, if you were so right, when we did our die-in front of your house, you could have came down there and said, no, look, this is what, I didn't do this, blase, blase. You ain't even come out. You called the police on us. You also called the police on us. You also didn't prosecute none of them damn killer cops or help them get prosecuted. You actually helped get them off. So watch who we talk about, oh, they doing this. And they always using black people. It makes me sick. It's sickening. I had this other commercial out in, and I promise you I'm going to pass the mic. But it's just sickening. It gets sickening the election time because they always use black bodies to get their votes. There was a black lady that had the nerve to sit up there and talk about the tragedy. And thank God that they found the sixth victim of the Key Bridge. Thank God. So finally that family will be able to, have a little closure, if you call it closure or whatever. At least they want to worry about people looking for their family, their loved one. But the fact that this black lady that she used in her she was campaigning, I forgot whichever politician. But the fact that she was talking about that tragedy and was saying, yeah, it was tragic that that happened, but the fact that we need to hurry up and build it back, and this guy's going to be like, what are you talking about, miss? And they use like, it's just crazy, man. So again, when you go to the polls to vote, and you can't talk about who's failing us, this and that, you don't try. But if you go to the polls to vote, think about your babies. If you don't have no babies, think about people that you love. Think about if you need them. The time shows up when we really need them. And we remember who had our backs and we remember who did. So this is our time to show you if we got a throwback or not. Mic check.
Mike check. Mike check.
I'm gonna expound upon the voting stuff a little bit because I've already did it, and Biden's already not locked up the nomination. I'm actually an uncommitted, um, unaffiliated. I mean, and in order to vote in the primary, since we have closed primaries, I have to switch to Democrat, and then after the primary, I have to switch it back to unaffiliated. So I switched it so that and I voted uncommitted for Biden because he's already locked up the nomination, and they're steady sending money to Israel to pretty much commit genocide on the Palestinians.
Hey.
And then
They paused though.
no, I mean
That's genocide.
he's pretty much sending strongly worded letters to Netanyahu is pretty much basically what it boils down to. And like I rage watched the news and I was like pacing around like, grabbing the sign to put it in my car or whatever, and they were talking about it and I was like, sending a strongly worded message to Netanyahu is like putting a gun in a mass murderer's hands and saying, "Please don't shoot anybody." That's pretty much like what it is. They're literally like sending them the arms and just say, just don't use it in Rafah. Like they're already blowing up Rafah. So if you don't know what happened, like millions, 2 million people lived in Palestine. And then what they did was they told everybody that was living up in the north to go south towards Rafah. And then they bombed the shit out of everywhere they lived, so like they don't have anything to go back to. Once they got them all pulled there, it was literally like putting fish in a barrel because they literally want to cause genocide. They literally want to kill all the Palestinians off and steal that land. So now they're telling them, oh, now they're doing leaflet drops from airplanes saying, oh, now you got to leave Rafah. And where are they supposed to go? They just did this, like, however 100 miles trek from the north to the south, where they were pulled to be killed. And now they're telling them, well, you got to get out of here because we're going to start bombing Rafah. So that is my thing with Biden. Please vote uncommitted because he's already locked up the nomination. Now let's go to also Brooks. Also, Brooks doesn't even have the backing of her former co-workers from PG County. They're all like on a commercial telling people to vote for David Trump. And the dynamics here is that she pretty much is like Marilyn Mosby 2.0. She was the state's attorney for PG County before she was the county executive. And she was constantly letting killer cops off the hook. Constantly letting them off the hook.
Yeah.
Leonard Shan's killers, and then she also helped sabotage the William Green case.
Shame.
So and if you don't know about him, he was literally handcuffed in the front of a police car and shot to death.
Shame.
Hey.
For a traffic violation.
Shame.
So this is the kind of things that she does, and I'm going to say one more thing. Larry Hogan is most likely going to lock up the Republican nomination for that Senate seat. And I'm going to tell you a pretty offensive story about when I was in line to vote in 2008 was the first time we voted for Obama. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, so he was running against Hillary. And I was in line in the city, not far from Canton. I was in line in the Baltimore City. And I literally heard these two men in line behind me say, I'd rather vote for an N-word than a woman.
Eve.
Just because he was a man. They were voting for Obama because they weren't going to vote for a woman. There is so much misogyny in this country. And that is one reason why I know she will never be Larry Hogan. Because there's people like that, with that mentality in this state, in this city, in this country, in this world. They would vote for anything other than a woman. And we need to not have like a slew of Republicans in the Senate right now because they're all batshit crazy. Okay, so then, so I voted, and I was keeping in mind all of the stuff that I heard. On the back side of the ballot, it's just all the judges and the delegates that are going to the Democratic National Committee. I didn't even vote on that side of the ballot because all of the judges are corrupt. And I really don't give a shit about these stupid conventions or whatever because the Electoral College should be abolished. It's unfair. It causes a lot of disenfranchisement and whatever. But yeah, like Ivan Bates running his mouth about all of these people that he's supporting, and he's really making a lot of wrong choices. And I think it's just because he knows Brandon Scott will check him, and Sheila won't, because Sheila is all about the stop and frisk, the jump out boys, all of that stuff that took place. O'Malley started it, really. O'Malley started it. He went shopping up in New York City for Ed Norris, if y'all remember. So he brought Ed Norris down here, and that's when the stop and frisk and the jump out boys and all of that started. And then when he decided to run for governor is when she was city council president, right? And then she wound up in office. And then she ran and became mayor. But she continued the practices. And then the more sinister thing about the rec centers closing is that it was purposely to put the children on the streets to fill the beds in the juvenile detention centers. Because when they were at the rec centers, playing basketball, playing video games, playing, doing whatever, playing football, they were safe and not on the streets. They had things to do. They had people helping them with their homework. They had people like keeping them on task. They had food to eat. So closing the rec centers, which then Stephanie Rollins Blake escalated.
Yes.
So this is the line of shit mayors we've had that literally were like sabotaging our communities for the prison industrial complex. Sabotaging our babies. Putting the children on the streets for them to be brutalized by police. We haven't heard shit about Mekhi Franklin. Remember Mekhi Franklin? 17 shot in the back? What happened with that? They never do follow-up stories. They never want to know, like, what happened to him? What happened to Mekhi Franklin? Like, does he have any kind of disabilities from what y'all did? Does he need services? You keep all that stuff quiet. You bury all that stuff. You put, and I had a friend that told me one time, it was like the best saying, nothing done in the dirt ever stays buried. So I don't know what y'all think you're hiding or whatever, but it's pretty obvious that like a lot of y'all are bad choices on that ballot. A lot of y'all. And I almost wish Ivan Bates was on that ballot again, but who knows what clowns would run against him. So we're just stuck with a clown in that state's attorney's position. And you're the same thing, like as Biden. It's like I call it limp dick politics because you write letters instead of getting on the phone and making a meeting with Anthony Brown and his state prosecutor's office and whoever else, the feds. I don't give a shit who you got to invite. If you feel like there's a conflict of interest in your office, it is your duty to find someone to prosecute that case. And or get Michelle Battle to resign her position. I will say that until she does it. I will say it till I'm blue in the face. Michelle Battle needs to resign her position. Because he doesn't just have, Jorge Bernardes Ruiz does not just have the Tyrone West case. He's got almost 40 that are known. Almost 40 cases. And you promote him to sergeant, and then you keep his wife on the payroll because you only want the easy cases. You want the time clock fraud or the crashes that they have in their police cars because they drive like fucking maniacs. And then you want to have this traffic stuff that worthless Worley dreamt up. Like, oh, if we do, like, we handle all these speeders and people running red lights and all, your men are doing it. Your undercover police officers are the ones driving like that. There are civilians that do, because I see it all the time. But you are never, ever, ever cognizant of which of these cars out here are undercover vehicles, because y'all use a plethora of them. You use little tiny, like compact cars. You use busted up cars. You use sedans. You use SUVs. We see it all the time up on Green now. So your men are driving like that. Your men are causing the accidents. And if like any of y'all don't believe me, just go watch those documentaries that were done on the GTTF because they showed all that shit. Them driving like maniacs. Read some books. Read some books about what happened to really happened to Freddie Gray. Read some books about what happened really with the GTTF victims. So I'm just like really like kind of all over the place or whatever, and that's just like how it is. But I just want y'all to really think about these people and who's backing them when you do go to the poll. And you do fill in those little bubbles. Because our past line of mayors, they were just following in line with the prison industrial complex and places like Hopkins and all of those like big corporations downtown that are part of the pilot program, which is like, oh, you don't got to pay any taxes or we're going to cap it at this amount. They don't pay water bills. Meanwhile, we're getting fleeced. They don't pay water bills. They don't pay property taxes. They don't pay taxes of any sort. Like places with massive amount of money that you can't even fathom. Yet here we are out here working for pennies, scraping our pennies together, and they're coming out again saying, oh, your water bill's going up again. Oh, your BGE went through the Public Service Commission and they're raising their prices again. Like they're not raising our paychecks. So vote for people who are actually going to think about that kind of stuff and do something about it. Because Sheila Dixon's bought and paid for. Theroux is bought and paid for, which he's not even on the ballot. He is on the ballot, but he's not running anymore. But yeah, he literally. It's funny, like, I know for a fact that he tried to extort Brandon Scott. Yeah. I know it, because when we were sitting across the table from him, I could see his gears turning, trying to figure out what he could get out of us, because everything with Theroux is transactional. Everything is transactional. All these people in his commercials, it's because he pulled them together to go after BGE because they didn't want those meter things on the outside of their house. And then the dude who took out the baseball bat fucked around and found out. And I like really have empathy for the fact that he died and all that, but still, like his wife out there endorsing the roof, they don't even live in the city. She don't live in the city. So who cares about your endorsement? And then you got your justice. That young man is in jail. So you got your justice. Go up and stay out of city politics because you don't live here. And the last thing I'm going to say is like he sat across from us and he was trying to think of a way to extort us.
Yeah.
Like trying to think of well, I could do that. I could do this. Like I could do that before I like take office, and I could do this or whatever. And we knew he was full of shit, so we didn't take the bait. And then he turned around and say, "I don't need your vote." Yes, like she said, yes, sir, you did. You needed every vote you can get. All your 10 voters or whatever, like that don't matter to Brandon Scott. And you act like you're coming to the table with some collateral and you don't have any.
None.
You have no collateral, no credibility, no integrity,
None.
no morals.
None.
Mic check.
Mike.
Mike,
Mike
check.
did.
Got it on fire, y'all. She got it on fire. And before we go into anything else, I want to open up the mic to see if anybody else want to say something. Mic check.
Mike check.
Check.
I'm Richard Oakes, on the board of Maryland Peace Action. They sat on the chest of Tyrone West, gave him cardiac arrest, and the coroner called it a heart attack. But when you can't breathe, your heart stops. So that was a big lie. But the coroner lies all the time historically in Baltimore.
That's
When,
right.
the coroner from South Africa, this white guy, David Fowler,
Yes.
he said that George Floyd died from auto exhaust
Everything. But shall
and
be.
denied how he really died with a knee to the neck and also suffocated. And all the pathologists in the United States censored him as being a phony. And in the history of Baltimore City, hundreds of young black youth who were murdered by cops were whitewashed by the coroner's office by David Fowler.
Facts.
And David Fowler got his assistant coroner, that Freddie Gray died from the ride when he was lethally damaged before he was even put in the wagon.
Facts.
And the reason David Fowler got his assistant coroner to turn that in was if it was ever revealed the truth, David wouldn't be blamed. He could have ordered his assistant to take the blame if it went wrong. That's the kind of rat he is. And so there's hundreds of cases, back cases that David Fowler ruined deliberately. This racist coroner who gave false reports of the autopsies.
Facts.
And so his assistant told the grand jury, told Marilyn Mosby, he died from the ride. So that's set up the dominoes that caused the cops all to go free. Because if you die from the ride, they call it an accident. And so Fowler knew that. And so that's how all the cops got free. I don't blame Marilyn Mosby so much because she was told by the experts in the coroner's office that he died from the ride. And then she told the grand jury. And so I don't blame her. I blame David Fowler, that rat who said that George Floyd died from auto exhaust and some other phony report. And so why he's still walking around and he should be in prison.
Yes.
Yeah.
Louder for the one in the back.
And so the police, the Baltimore Sun paper said they were going to investigate. But when I asked They said there's too many cases. We can't open up all these cases of young black youth who have been murdered by cops going back years. There's too many cases. It's too big to fail. And so that's the scam we're up against.
Just
But we need to force the Sun papers to open up those cases and for the prosecutor's office to prosecute David Fowler and all his henchmen.
yes, Mike
Amen.
said.
Amen,
Amen.
amen to that. And it's sad that we're in times where you gotta examine the medical examiner's office. I've been telling y'all that from day one. Literally, they hit my brother's body for 5 days. Like, the autopsy, the false autopsy was done on the 19th. They murdered my brother on the 18th. The false autopsy report was done on the 19th. Before they even did the false autopsy, they literally came to some of our family's home telling us what the false autopsy was going to reveal. And it took them 154 days later to give my family a partial autopsy report. This is the disrespect that me and my family has been enduring for the past 11 years. This is disgusting. Like, no family should have to go through that. Like, literally, you get to hold my brother's body an additional 5 days because the medical and David following them won't release his body because they claim they don't deliver bodies on the weekend at a morgue that's open 24 hours a day. Like, are you kidding me? This is what my family went through. And then it took a whole 154 days to give us a partial autopsy report. Lies. And then I go get I had to go on my pocketbook, which I feel like they owe me my $50,000. I want my money back. I told my attorneys from day one, they had nothing to do with anything. This was for me, but I've been told them I wanted to go after the medical examiner's office. They told me, wait, let's deal with what's going on with Mr. West and get after that. And meanwhile, the statute the limits or whatever ran out on me. I didn't know you got 3 years to go after the medical exam, so I was bamboozled again. I'm tired of being bamboozled by people that's supposed to help us. They're helping themselves. They don't give a damn because Tyrone West wasn't their brother, wasn't their father, wasn't their cousin, wasn't their uncle, wasn't their friend, wasn't nothing to them but a dollar bill. 6%, 30%, 33%. It's disgusting. There's so many people that were supposed to help my family has failed my family. And that is disgusting. It's not just what they're doing to my family, it's what they're doing to all of our families. And it's mainly what they're doing to black and brown families all around the world. Just because of our skin color. Just because we're in a capitalist, racist system that don't give a damn.
That's right.
And again, I found out how real it was when I went to Texas. Every time I go down south, they have to endure racism on a real arrogant level. Like, I mean, so bad. Like, they have to, and we're in 2024. Like, really? We still have sundown towns that nobody's talking about. Me and my babies could have been executed on the goddamn highway. We were forced to drive non-stop for our safety. Not because we wanted to. I don't even drive on a highway. And then after a plane crashed into the highway that we were on, I really wanted to go rest my nerves, but I couldn't. Then you call in hotels and you have racist white people that as soon as you say your name, they know what color you are. And then they tell me for 2 hours, they will give me a room at almost $485 for 2 hours. Are you freaking kidding me? But nobody's talking about this stuff. And it's a lot of people that's going missing, that's going on family trips, and you wonder why. There's so many missing people. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about all the sex trafficking that's happening. We have pedophiles that are coming to cheer competition just to watch our babies and see where they can snatch. And so nobody's talking about that stuff. This is the stuff that we need to be talking about because it's real. Don't wait until it happens to you to talk about it, because guess what? Unfortunately, it's too late then. Let's talk about it now. Let's talk about it before it hits your family. Why is the sundown towns? Nobody's talking about it. Why are so many people getting missing? Literally taking family trips. It scared the life out of me. And then I went through racism this weekend. I'm literally doing my baby chair competition. I'm going in. I got a bunch of snacks with me. This white guy sees me and my daughter, but he didn't know I had my big 6 foot son with me. He didn't know my son was with me. But he literally come cut my son. My son just watching my back. And he's literally saying all this racism stuff. I just dropped my Visa card. I'm going to go pick my card up. I'm going to let somebody pick it up for me. I go down to pick my card up. And he said, I don't know why she's stopping right here. These people kill me. Who was these people? So I'm already offended. Because I know what you mean when you say these people. So I'm already offended, but I'm like, long as they don't say not touch me, I don't care, whatever. I'm acting like I don't hear the racism. I go pick my card up. Now when I stand up, I'm looking at this man's chest. And he's like, you know you wasn't supposed to stop right there. And when I say, God forgive me, I forgot I was a Christian. I let him have it. Every potty word I could think of, he got it. I'm talking then, his whole soul almost left his body. When my son came up behind me and said, what's going on? They looked and he ran. But this is crazy. Why should I have to endure that? You wouldn't have did that if it was a white woman. I'd do it at the last competition when I was at Ocean City. When a white guy stepped on a white woman and she pushed him. She was bold enough to push him, put her hands on him, push him, almost made him fall over. He must have thought it was me. He ready to fight. He giving his family his food. He like, oh, and I can't believe call her a B.I.T. Oh, you B. I can't believe you touched me, you B. And then when she said, oh yeah, I touched you, you must be dirtied up my white shoes. He looked down like, oh, it was you? Do I look like, are you kidding me? Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. I apologize. You want my drink that I just bought? And I'm not making this up. I'm not being extra. And I'm like, wait a minute, so what you thought I pushed her? This is what people need to talk about. This stuff is real. Even the way we pay bills. Like the way that they charge people to go, if you want to go rent out a house or apartment, they give you these application fees, knowing that for one, they're not going to give you an apartment or a house or whatever. And they charge you all these fees. But then white privilege come in, they can get the fees waived. White privilege come in, my car get literally crashed, almost killed after I got stopped when my family received the money and I had to make the news retract and say I didn't receive anything. My family, I got stopped literally by a car, a silver car. And when the lady almost killed me and crashed into, she came back around the block 2 times, she almost crashed into me. And something went just let her do it. But my whole point is, I went to get the report. First of all, at the scene of the accident, real quick, they wouldn't even talk to me. Everybody kept giving me the hand. Then a bunch of white shirts from this district comes up there on Bel Air Road. They're up there, and they won't even talk to me. They get all the only thing they said was who green Mercedes Benz is this? I said it's mine. Give me the hand. Let me see your license and registration. Give them all that. Can I get them? Kept giving me the hand. And one of them told me, oh, meet us down in Northeast District. This lady is alleviated. We're going to take her in. Meet us at Northeast District at midnight. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Why would I come to Northeast District, the same district that I'm protesting week after week for accountability for my brother that was murdered? I'm going to come and walk in there for a police report. I can't go online and get it. Y'all can't give it to me. No, just come down there at midnight. And I put it playing on Facebook, social media. Then I wound up coming down Sunday on Facebook Live. And when I went down here Sunday, they was like, oh no, I don't know who told you that, Miss Jones. You could have just went online and get the report. So I go online, wait about 2 weeks, they send me. And I lied to you not. I can show you the proof. I have all the proof. You don't have the receipts. I come with receipts. They give me a blank report. Car A hit car B, and car C hit car D, and that was it. But then Uncle Bill uses white privilege. We come show up here to turn up. He get the real report saying how the lady was driving well in her hands in the air. yelling, was under drugs, all this stuff, trying to fight police. He gets the uncut, and this ain't even his fault. White privilege. Disgusting. But I'm glad that as a black woman, I can use my friends for white privilege. I'm glad. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful. But again, we need to go back to where, or I don't even never know when we can't even go back. We need to start all over again where everybody can have freedom of speech, freedom of being able to live in America with feeling safe, not being discriminated against, not being brutally executed. Anytime you had a white woman in a vehicle, they ran up from Dundalk, she's flicking at them. They didn't shoot this woman, they didn't do anything. They're like, I mean, it was like a love story. We're throwing all type of stuff out the flat in the car that we're gonna disable the vehicle. They let her come out, she fall out on the ground, they still ain't touch her. When she got up, they massaged her back, walked her to accountability. But literally, Joseph Green was gunned down. Hit 3 cars, was gunned down in the front of the vehicle of a killer cop. This is a murder case. Enough is enough. So I'm gonna open up the mic before we go into the sad list to see if anybody else wants to say anything, and then if not, I'm gonna read our statement and we'll just go on. Right, check.
It was William Green.
I'm sorry, William Green.
Yeah, I'm just kind of going to loop around to election a little bit because I'm just a crazy anarchist. I don't think any kind of government makes any sense. So I don't care if you vote for Brandon Scott or Theroux or whoever. Just vote for whoever you feel is going to do the least damage. The idea for me is to have something different, have people from the bottom running things and people democratically running things. And in order to do that, we're going to have to start building things on the ground, small groups of people doing things, running their own neighborhoods, policing themselves and taking care of themselves. And part of that, one of the ways to do that is or one group of people who's doing that is Tubman House. And this weekend they're having a party for in memory of, hang on a second there. In memory of Eddie Conway. I have to be able to read the time here. So anyway, this week they're having a party in memory of Eddie Conway. There's going to be free food. It's May 11th, Saturday, Presbury and Fulton Streets from 3 to 6. Music, free food, art giveaways, and so come on out. And what we really need to do is build communities that can govern themselves and stand on their own. And the way to do that is to start by taking over. You know, if you have homeless people, take over some empty houses and put people in them. If you have problems with crime, do like a neighborhood watch and go around and stop it yourself. Because as sure as you call somebody in from outside to do it for you, then you're going to end up working for them. They're going to end up killing you, and that's how it all happens. So this Saturday, 3 to 6, Presbury and Fulton come out for some food and some fellowship and some solidarity, and we'll try and get a whole election problem in a better way. Thank you.
Mike check.
Thank you, Mike Check.
Mike
And
check.
I just want to say real quick about Eddie Conway. He was a Black Panther, and he was falsely accused of crimes that he didn't commit. And I thank God now every time I say that statement, I always think about Keith Davis Jr. So glad that he's home and that he got his freedom back and that he didn't have to go and be Eddie Conway or whatever. But the fact that when Eddie Conway came home, he reached out to me. And he literally was working for the Real News, and he gave my brother plenty of airway. I could call Eddie Conway at the drop of a dime. He would always come out and cover my brother's story. And even if he couldn't come out, he would send somebody reliable to come out. And it's just sad, like how he died. I don't know if he was sick or whatever, but it's just sad, like how when our loved ones get murdered or die or whatever, we don't hear nothing about it. It's just like, oh, they was gone, then we didn't hear no more. It's just sad, like, and I just remember personally being in his personal space and hearing him say how he was afraid to not have it. He didn't want to get a driver's license. because he didn't want to be a Tyrone West, because he knew how the system hated him. So if they hate you that much that you can't drive a vehicle, imagine if you're in the hospital. You think they're going to give you top quality care? No, they're not. And I think about Steve Turner, Pastor Steve Turner, who was an ex-cop that was blackballed and came down to West Wendy to testify and say he could have been David Seed. Sean Seed. I'm horrible with names, guys. I'm all over the place. But again, apologize, no disrespect, don't judge my mind, just judge my heart. But nevertheless, in that case with Pastor Steve Turner, he just all of a sudden passed away. Just literally had a seizure and died. I found that strange and odd. But again, I think about our queens and kings that go into that hospital, and once they find out who you are you going to get the same treatment? I think about Paula Muhammad, beautiful queen. She went in for when we had the pandemic. She went in and literally her husband Randy, bless his heart, but she went in and she didn't even have no real bad COVID signs. She said she wasn't hooked up to a ventilator or not, just like a regular cold. And they convinced him to leave her overnight just so that way they could show her how to use different treatments and things like that. And literally, I'll never forget when my brother called me screaming and hollering and saying she's gone. And I'm like, gone where? So again, will we get the same treatment as a black body that's speaking out for black and that's speaking out for accountability? Will we get the same treatment as other people? No, we won't. And that's sad and disgusting.
Right.
But I'm aware. I don't care if you call me crazy, call me what. Don't judge me, judge your mother. Because guess what? I'm always 10 toes down on what I believe in. And it's not the West Coalition, it's simply me. We don't get treated the same. I can't even take my baby to the hospital and I be in fear taking my children to the hospital. But you have no choice because you need treatment, you gotta go. But I'm praying every time. And the time I took my baby and the police walked past me and said, oh, be careful, there's some animals around the corner. My baby, she all excited thinking there's some real animals. Because at the time she's like 5 or 6 years old. We go around the corner, it's a bunch of animals because it was some cops. It was a bunch of animals right around the corner. That's right. But they noticed that every time I come on the mic, I'll say them stinking animals. So, yeah, and I say, yup, you're right. And I say, you forgot stinking animals. So, again, will we get the same treatment? So, again, thank you guys. I'm sorry it was late. Just thank you. Shout out to Ben. I'm going to get it on because I know Ben got a heavy day or something planned tonight. So, I ain't going to hold him up no longer. So, let me read our statement and we will take 1 minute and we will go, unfortunately, to the sad way. It is the mission of the West Coalition to work for accountability for Tyrone West and all the victims of police brutality. We believe that there is a connection between police brutality and community violence. Police can use de-escalation strategies to diffuse situations without necessarily using force, and we encourage community members to resolve disputes without violence. We care deeply about those families impacted by police brutality and community violence. We seek to uplift names of their loved ones from a place of respect and care. We obtain lists of these names of those shot and killed by police and those lost to community violence from national and local news outlets. We know that these are by no means exhaustive lists, and that gun violence isn't the only way people are murdered. We do not obtain detailed information about the circumstances surrounding each of these deaths or the people who died. By reading these names, we're not condoning violent behavior on the part of anyone involved. Thank you. So we're right now, I believe the time is 8:39. We're gonna come back at 8:40, and we're gonna start mic check.
Okay.
Thank you guys. Mic check.
Check.
So this past week, we lost 4 people here in Baltimore. We only have one name. We'll try and keep an eye out and bring the other names to you as we and look them up as we become able to do that. But each of these people is a whole world, and each of these people had friends and families and coworkers and all sorts of other people who loved them and depended on them. And so their deaths are part of the same violence that brings police violence. It's part of the same violence that permeates our society. And so I ask you to just, take this time to rededicate yourself to bringing an end to that sort of violence and lift up the name of Anthony Pearson.
Anthony Pearson.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mike, check.
Mike, check.
I check. They haven't updated the list.
Oh, okay.
Can I say?
Yes. Mike, check.
Oh, just it's the Mother's Day Peace Challenge this weekend.
That's right.
It starts Friday, runs all the way through midnight on Mother's Day. So I just wanted to remind people that there's a whole bunch of activities going on. Just hit them up on Facebook or
BaltimorePeaceMovement.com.
BaltimorePeaceMovement.com or go there. Um, there's a ton of activities going on this weekend. Unfortunately, I'll be working, but anyway, I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Mike check.
Mike, check.
And thanks for sharing that. Also, again, I'm glad you shared that we are coming towards Mother's Day. So it's a lot of folks that don't have their moms anymore, right here in the physical, but just always remember your mom and just love up on your mother-like figures and just love up on each other. So my heart goes out to Mark Aubrey's mother because in my remembrance time frame, it showed the day was the day years ago that some of the killers that murdered Ahmaud Arbery were finally brought to accountability. They were just arrested. They wasn't actually brought. They were just put in jail. But it took them like 90 days, all because their sick video that they put on social media themselves that ultimately hung them, which it should. But it's just sad. No mother should have to feel that. So my heart goes out to anybody that's feeling the loss of a mother or anything. So just remember, just think about the memory. Don't let the sadness overtake you. Just love up on the mothers this weekend and live to love to live. I love you all, you guys. We will see you guys next week. And happy birthday, Ben.